Hey, welcome everyone. I have not made a war video in a couple seasons, but I figured I'd get back on it. I'm now in Bolt, and today we are going against F&G, which in the Navy always stood for fucking new guy, but um, their alliance is like Fury something. Anyway, today's team is going to be Ant-Man and Guardian. We're just bringing in Ghost for synergy with Ant-Man. I'm taking Path 5 Section 1. Here, I'm just going to have to hit this Spidey Supreme down because I'm not going to be able to really keep any debuffs on him because once you knock him down, those debuffs are going to go away. But that's fine. I don't need the slow debuff because Ant-Man is buff immune and Spidey Supreme has a very small health pool. So normally with Ant-Man, you'd want the rotation to be an SP1 into an SP2. The SP1 is going to give you those fatigue debuffs, and then your SP2 is going to convert those debuffs into poisons. But again, here, we don't really get to play around with that. So it's just a matter of chipping him down. It's not really that challenging of a fight. The only thing to really worry about is just that, like that, Spidey Supreme does hit hard. Luckily, those hits weren't crits, but most of the Spidey characters in the game have pretty high crit ratings, so you just want to be careful when you're playing them. So we're just going to hit a little bit more, and then he's down. The next fight, I'm going to be using Guardian against this Havok. I do not switch my boost as far as like my science attack or special attack bonus and power backs. Mainly because my Guardian is a rank 4 and he does not need any help with the damage. So here we're going in. The nice thing with Guardian is that you can parry non-contact attacks, so that takes a lot of the troubling issues with champs like Havok or Negasonic. It eliminates those because you're able to parry those mediums. So in this fight, he's got a protection node where you have to knock him down to take it down. So I just need to make sure that when I'm going to do my big cash out with my my SP2, that protection is down. There, I'm going to parry the SP1 hits so I can build a little more power. That's part of Guardian's kit. I knock him down, and then we're going to Dex. And then here, normally this would be it, but because Havok has extremely high energy resistance, we're going to have to hit him just a little bit more. But yeah, the general rotation with Guardian is just like Ant-Man. You want to build almost to 2 bars of power, then throw your special 1. That's going to give you some of those, oh gosh, I forget what they're called, but the little yellow circle icon charges. The more that Guardian has of those, the more powerful his SP2 is going to be. So yeah, special 1 into special 2. This next fight here is going to be Mojo. Again, this is going to be a nothing fight because Ant-Man is buff immune. So all of the threats that Mojo presents when it comes to buffs expiring or these placebo buffs on this node, it's just not going to be an issue. I don't even have to worry about the unstoppable because we don't even get Dex. So we're just going to hit him down. We're not worried about the death field. We're going to throw our SP1. And then I believe I try to just stick to the SP1s. I can Dex the SP2, but I just really want to play it super safe this war. We've got 8 of those fatigue debuffs, so those should all convert into poisons once we're able to throw our SP2. Boop-a-doo, just watching here as you're watching. I think we're gonna... There we go. Yeah, I didn't even go in and punish the SP2. I'm just playing very conservatively. So there you see we converted those 8 fatigues into the 8 poisons, and he's down. So really good showing by Ant-Man. Now for this next fight, my BG planner said to go ahead and use Ant-Man. And the reason we're using Ant-Man is because, one, he's shock immune, but also with Decay and all the debuffs, we should be able to mitigate or completely negate Domino's crit fail damage, that little burst of energy damage that you get whenever she does what she does. That should be greatly reduced by just having debuffs on her. Now, what Domino can do though is fail your debuffs. So I think you'll see here, those are fine. Those fatigues do fine. I go in, I punish, and then what I'm wanting to do, I want to say here, I beta heavy, I go back in because I want to refresh my fatigues. I knock her down just for power sting. It does a decent amount of damage. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to throw my SB2. And she's lucky, I'm unlucky, and only 3 of my poisons end up converting. So that kind of sucks because that's not what I wanted. Another thing you're going to see here is that I'm wanting to refresh poisons here, but at the end of the fight, it gets... I could have gotten in big trouble. I push her power pretty high, and I was feeling pretty confident in the fight, but then I dropped my block or something there, right there. Had she finished that combo instead of dexing back, she would have had an SP3, and I could have died. So, you know, I really should have just followed the plan that I had with the first 3 fights and just stayed more conservative, not gotten cheeky and pushed her up that high in her power, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about it even if she had finished that combo. All right, so now we're on one of the mini bosses. This is fight number 5 for me. Make a stand, inevitable power. One eye open. Now, one of the nice things here with Make a Stand is that the damage is reduced by 90%. And so you can parry and hit the opponent while they're stunned, and that damage reflection from One Eye Open is going to be greatly reduced because your damage that you're dishing is greatly reduced. So you don't really have to worry about a great deal of damage getting reflected back to you. It's just going to be, 10% of what you dealt. So again, going in here with the SP1 into SP2, and now that the protection is down, I don't want to parry and then hit her. So I'm working on kind of playing around this here. I'm not super great at dexing Negasonic's specials, and so I typically will dex the first hit and then just block the rest of the ones, which I'm fine with because Guardian has a ton of block proficiency. And then here we're throwing that SP2 and then it's, it's done. It's just, yeah. So he's a really great counter to Negasonic wherever she is. He can parry her non-contact attacks. And even if you do get clipped by a special, he's got such high energy resistance if you've got a max sig that it's pretty survivable. So my last fight number 6, is going to be this Ant-Man against Man-Thing. This is on the center mini-boss island, and this is the Shock Incinerate hazard shift. But I don't really have to worry about it here because all of my debuffs basically make me immune. I'm not going to take any damage from it. However, as you saw in the very beginning there, I took some hits because my parry failed, and that's because of one of the nodes where your ability accuracy is decreased based off of the number of debuffs on you, and that didn't register with me, and so yeah. So even if I'm not taking damage from these debuffs, I need to make sure that I'm mindful that my parries can fail. So that's just a big thing to think about with this node. Even when you're able to bypass the damage over time. So I decided to do 2 SP1s because I wanted to max out my fatigues so that I could get the max number of poisons. You can go over 12 with your fatigues, but you can only put a max of 12 poisons on the opponent. But that's fine. That's going to end up being totally enough because you see here, Man-Thing is just going down. And yeah, I shouldn't have gotten hit there at the end, but I really didn't care at that point. So that was the end of my war. Good start to the season. 6 fights, no deaths. And Bolt, we're currently Platinum 1. We didn't have a great war season last season, but we won this one. So, shout out to Puppy and Egg, our planners for Battle Group 3. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.